Good evening, Yorktown. It's Supervisor Matt Slater. Welcome to our COVID-19 update. Today is Thursday, May 7th. I'm joined by our Refuse and Recycling Director, Kim Gage. Kim, thanks so much for joining me.
Sure. Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate it. We just wanted to provide another update on the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic that's continuing to impact our community, our region, our county, our state, and our country. The county has changed how they have reported numbers to us, and so we have some more detail as to the numbers here in the town of Yorktown. As of May 6th, because we have not received an update today thus far, but as of May 6th, which would have been yesterday, total cases in Yorktown tally 544. Total active cases tallies 57, and we have 2 new cases that we have been notified of. Again, that was of yesterday. We are going to be once again reenacting our no parking zones for the weekend. As a reminder, I know it's supposed to be decent weather on Sunday. If you're going to go outside, and again, we are encouraging people to go outside and get some exercise, but just make sure you're maintaining that social distancing, making socially responsible decisions. And again, we're going to be enforcing no parking zones down near T-Town. We're over at Spring Valley Road from Route 134 to the Cortland-Newcastle town line. Blinn Road from Spring Valley to Journey's End Road. T-Town Road from Spring Valley to the Cortland town line. Journey's End Road and Grants Lane. In addition to T-Town, we've seen very high volume over at Turkey Mountain, and we're not trying to deter people from utilizing either of these great facilities. But again, we have to balance overpopulation, overcrowding at these trailheads. Last weekend, we saw that the parking at Turkey Mountain extended all the way beyond 118 and across the street. And so in conjunction with our Parks Director, who was on site, as well as our Highway Superintendent and our Police Chief, we're going to also be issuing a no parking zone for the entire south side of Lock Ave, which is also known as Lock Lane, from the intersection with New York State Route 118 westward, as well as the first 50 yards of the northbound side of Lock Ave, also known as Lock Lane, from the intersection of New York State Route 118 westward. So basically, we want to trim down the parking at the mouth of Turkey Mountain when you first pull in. If you are seeing too many cars at the trailheads in these parking lots, that means that the trail is overcrowded, and we urge you to find another place to go outside and enjoy the outdoors. Again, you can go to yorktowntrailtown.com. We have over 40 miles of nature trails in the town of Yorktown. It's actually amazing when you take the time to look at all the different places you can go. It's not just Turkey Mountain, it's not just T-Town, even though those might be your personal favorite, and I know those are 2 of my son's personal favorites. But there are plenty of other places to go. There's enough space for us to spread out and enjoy the outdoors in a safe way and ensuring that everyone gets some fresh air. So again, no parking zones are once again in effect, both for T-Town, in and around T-Town, and as well as in and around Turkey Mountain. We also have our water meter reading project, say that 10 times fast, going on. Again, there was no water meter reading for the month of April, and so we're trying to, in our water department, who always does a great job, they're trying to do 2 months in one. As a reminder, water meter reading is currently ongoing for all of Gomer, including all side roads east to the town line with Somers and west to Quinlan, as well as all of Douglas, Curry, and the connecting roads, that would be Walden Woods, all of Jefferson Village, Hill, and Lee Boulevard, as well as the High Meadow condos, the JV Mall, and the JV shopping centers, all of East Main Street in Jefferson Valley from the Taconic State Parkway east to Somers and to the Carmel town lines, all of Crossroads, Ponderosa, London Woods, the western end of Wildwood, Swed, and Edgewood. That's where our water department is focused on their water meter reading. And so if you see our water department out there, they're all going to be practicing social distancing. They're all going to have face masks on, as well as the proper attire. So if you do see them out there, give them a friendly wave and know that they are there to read meters. I want to thank our entire staff. It was a complete team effort earlier this week as we distributed reusable face masks to our neighbors, to our elderly neighbors and immunocompromised neighbors. We had a distribution point up at Jefferson Village. We handed out close to 1,000 masks to those in need. It was a great job, again, team effort, because we had members of our R&R department there, we had members of our water department there, our Parks and Rec director, our highway superintendent, and we had highway help us set it up. Our police department was there, as well as elected officials. And so, again, it was, well, of course, I forgot our librarians. We had some of our librarians there, but it was very well organized, very well executed, and we are already planning our next reusable mask distribution. So mark your calendars. For our seniors and immunocompromised, we are planning Thursday, May 14th, here at Town Hall. It'll be in the Town Hall municipal parking lot, which is, if you're looking at Town Hall, the parking lot to the left. And so again, Thursday, May 14th, from 1 to 5, and we will continue to provide information and publicize that. Again, our thanks, great thanks to our partners at Westchester County, as well as our friends at Haynes. Haynes is the one who actually produced and distributed the masks to the county. The masks then distributed them to all the municipalities across Westchester. And so we are doing our best to get them out to our seniors, immunocompromised, as well as our small businesses who continue to operate if they are in need. You don't have to wait. You can call my office at 914-962-5722, extension 200, if you are in need of a reusable mask. And we are happy. We have a small army of people who have been going around town dropping them off to people if you can't get out or cannot wait. Again, you can call 914-962-5722, extension 200, or you can email me at mslater@yorktownny.org, and we're happy to come to your house and drop off a mask for those in need. I also want to make sure that folks understand the value of our food pantries. And I have a great note here from the executive director of the community food pantry at St. Mary's of Mohegan Lake, Terry Berardi. They continue just to do amazing, amazing, amazing work. And I'm not going to go through all the details of what her note said. I do want to send a special thank you to the Vice President of the Lakeland School Board, Denise Ness, for organizing just an incredible effort in the entire Lakeland School Board and the entire Lakeland community. And if you go onto the Community Food Pantry's Facebook page, you can read about the great work that the Lakeland Board of Education trustees and others have done in generating. The Lakeland High School basketball team collected and donated $300. And you can read for yourself just the profound impact that the Lakeland community, our whole community, but Lakeland right now in particular, has had on the food pantry. But a few metrics for people to understand the value of our food pantries, and if you're looking to do something positive for our community, supporting our food pantries, especially St. Mary's, would be greatly appreciated. On Saturday, May 1st, that was this Saturday, 293 individuals and their families received groceries from the community food pantry at St. Mary's. During the month of April, 781 individuals and families were provided food to sustain them through the crisis, and we are all experiencing. The numbers served just keep rising. Again, this is from Terry Berardi, the executive director. The numbers served just keep rising, but the helping hand of the Lakeland community to the food pantry is helping them rise to meet the challenge. Again, not just Lakeland, there have been people from all parts of Yorktown who have been supporting all of our food pantries. We do have several, but St. Mary's continues. Again, 293 individuals and families just last weekend, 781 for the month of April. Just absolutely astounding numbers, but we are so thankful for their work, for their dedication to our community. You can drop off perishable food to the St. Mary's Food Bank. They have a drop box right out front. They are located right off Route 6 in Mohegan Lake. They are limiting themselves on volunteers when they distribute their foods. They do it every Saturday. But for those in need, you can contact St. Mary's, and they can either arrange for a special drop-off or pickup. But for everyone else in need, Saturday mornings, they continue to operate. And they can also take financial donations. You can go onto their website. If you just Google the St. Mary's Community Food Pantry in Mohegan Lake. You can find their website and donate to them right online, and I know those donations go a very, very long way. And this is something that we have to do. This is something that we have to continue to support all of our food pantries in the town of Yorktown because they are, as you can see by the numbers, providing an invaluable service. And I also want to take a second while we're talking about our food pantry to mention, of course, Noreen O'Driscoll and our Senior Nutrition Center and our entire staff. They continue to perform just amazing work as well, delivering to nearly 130 seniors with our Meals on Wheels program. And what people don't realize, it's not just 130 seniors here in Yorktown, homebound seniors, but we actually provide food for the town of Somers and support their Meals on Wheels program. And that's continued to grow as well. We are continuing to take clients for the Meals on Wheels program, so you can contact the Senior Nutrition Center and you can submit an application, whether you yourself or on behalf of a loved one, and our great staff will process that application, get them on the list, and we can start serving them through our Meals on Wheels program. I actually dropped a mask off to a woman last night up in Jefferson Village, and she had a nice big note right on her front door saying, "Thank you to Meals on Wheels." And she was just so profoundly grateful for the services that the town is providing to her during this clearly challenging and scary time. So thank you to all who are involved in helping our neighbors in most need. Here at Town Hall, we are continuing to prepare for hopefully reopening, which I'm going to get to shortly at some point. As a reminder, all of our town buildings continue to remain closed to the public. All of our active parks continue to remain closed as well. Passive parks, like I explained earlier, T-Town, Turkey Mountain, all of our nature trails, the 40 miles of nature trails, Sylvan Glen, those all remain open and accessible. As part of our process to start re-engaging in the reopening process, we're going to begin antibody testing for our town employees right here in the town board room. That begins tomorrow at noon. We do have some tables set up, and you can see some chairs here in preparation for tomorrow. The town board did approve for this antibody testing to be offered for our town employees. Again, there is antibody testing being offered by several healthcare providers and urgent care centers in Yorktown, and so we're going to be beginning that tomorrow. I also want to take a minute and thank our friends at Lowe's on 202. Tomorrow I will be joined with a number of elected officials and all of our first responders, from the Yorktown Police Department to the Mohegan Lake Volunteer Ambulance Corps and the Fire Department, Mohegan Lake Fire, the Yorktown Volunteer Fire Department, and the Yorktown Volunteer Ambulance Corps. And we're going to be over at Lowe's accepting a very generous donation of several thousand KN95 masks that we're going to be able to utilize for our first responders. And so, again, a big thank you to our neighbors at Lowe's for their incredible donation and generosity to the town of Yorktown, especially to our first responders and frontliners. I do want to provide some updates from the governor. Today he announced that evictions will be extended until August 20th. The state is also banning late payments or fees for missed rent payments during the eviction moratorium, and allowing renters facing financial hardship to use security deposits as payments. Again, the evictions, COVID-related evictions, the moratorium on COVID-related evictions will be extended until August 20th. As for reopening, and it's a conversation that I have multiple times a day with multiple people all over town. I was on the phone today with our friends at Club Fit, with Bill Beck, walking through the parameters that they're putting in place, which I was very, very impressed with. But I think it's important for the public to understand, and I think we've emphasized this quite a few times, and I'll do it again. The parameters put forth to reopen are being done on a higher level of government. The thing I love most about local government is we implement the policies that are being put forth, whether from the federal government, the state government, or the county government. But this is where the rubber meets the road. And so while I'd love to be able to tell people, yes, you can do this, yes, you can do that, we're going to go do this, fact of the matter is that latitude is very shallow on the local government side. Most of this is being driven by our partners in the county and the state government, and we have worked hand in hand with them. This is not about partisan politics at all. This is about doing the right thing for the people of this town, the people of this county, the people of this state, and the people of this country. And we have operated in that light. So I just want to walk through again what the parameters that have been put forth by the governor include, so we can begin the reopening process. Regions, and we've been put into the Mid-Hudson region, which I'm very happy about, by the way, based off of the Regional Economic Development Councils. So the regions must have at least 14 days of decline in total hospitalizations and deaths on a 3-day rolling average. Again, the region must have 14 days of decline in total hospitalizations and total decline of deaths on a 3-day rolling average. In regions with few COVID cases, cases cannot exceed 15 new total cases or 5 new deaths on a 3-day rolling average. In order to monitor the potential spread of infection in a region must have fewer than 2 new COVID patients admitted per 100,000 residents per day. Again, these are all metric-based, and we're using science and data to make these decisions, something that I think is very wise. Regions must have 30% of their total hospital beds and 30% of their total ICU beds available. And this is something that I was on a conference call yesterday with County Executive Latimer, and he has provided details and continues to be a great leader working with our hospitals to determine what those numbers are, he and his team. Hospitals must have at least 90 days of PPE stockpiled. 1 day's supply is equal to the necessary PPE to go through a day during an outbreak, meaning the burn rate hospitals experienced during the virus's peak in April. 30 tests must be available per 1,000 residents per month. Regions must have a baseline of 30 contact tracers per 100,000 residents, and additional tracers based on the projected number of cases in the region. So, in Westchester, we have 1 million people, so we are, or the county and the state are in the process of putting together 300 contact tracers. That's the number they have to come up with. And there's a risk versus reward analysis regarding phased reopening of businesses. And this is all going to be put on the town's COVID-19 dashboard, community impact dashboard, and we're going to show all this to you. Now, where do we stand as we speak? Again, I believe this is about 24 to 48 hours stale, but as of the last time we've seen this, the Mid-Hudson currently does not have a 14-day decline in hospital deaths or fewer than 3 deaths. So we were missing the mark there. Also, new hospitalizations is at 4.74, and it needs to be, and I'm trying to read this here, column 3, and it needs to be under 2 per 100,000 residents in a 3-day rolling average, and we are currently at 4.74. All the other columns, the 14-day decline in hospitalizations or under 15 new hospitalizations in a 3-day average, we qualify for. The 14-day decline in hospital deaths or fewer than 5 deaths on a 3-day average, again, we do not qualify for. Same with the new hospitalizations. The share of total beds available, we do qualify for. Right now, according to the latest data, we're at 31%. Share of ICU beds available, again, we qualify for. It shows 35% in our region, the threshold of 30%. We also have, let's see here, we also have 30 per 1,000 residents tested monthly. We already have that. And at least 30 contact tracers per 1,000 residents. And according to the chart that we have here, that would be 697 for our region. And I believe that is still underway. So those are the metrics that we have to meet. And then I want to talk quickly about what the phased reopening of businesses entails. And again, this is all being shared with by the governor, so you can jump on his website as well. We'll put this on our website. Phase 1 is construction, manufacturing, and wholesale supply chain. Select retail will be able to continue curbside pickup. Phase 2 is professional services, finance, and insurance, retail, administrative support, real estate, and rental leasing. Phase 3 is restaurants and food services, as well as hotel and accommodations. Phase 4 is arts, entertainment, recreation, and education. And it's hard to say specifically when we believe we're going to be crossing each phase. I can tell you, though, that there has been some public comments made by our partners in government, again, higher level than local, saying that Phase 1 will be put into place for the month of June, and Phase 2 when we cross into July. So I think we need to understand that this is not going to be a very fast process, that, again, we have to continue to always be mindful of our social responsibilities, because if we cross back into any of these 7 metrics that I described earlier, if we cross back into any of these qualifiers and the numbers jump, we're starting back over again. So again, social responsibility is key now more than ever, so we can continue through that reopening phased process. So that's the latest from the governor. I will also just mention camps and pools. We are getting a lot of questions on camps and pools. We are having conversations constantly about the prospect of camps and pools for the town of Yorktown this summer. Again, this is specifically just for town camps and town pools. We continue to have daily conversations, both with our Parks and Rec staff and director, as well as our schools, and we are close to making a decision on this. I do believe that we will internally have a decision made, if not by tomorrow, then over the weekend, and we intend to share our decision, obviously, with the public early next week regarding the future of camps and pools in the town of Yorktown. And with that being said, I want to once again welcome Kim Inglis-Gage, our Director of Refuse and Recycling. One of the other things that we get a lot of questions about has been garbage in the town of Yorktown.
Absolutely.
And so Kim, I asked you to come on so you can provide some additional insight, and I provided the statistic you provided at the staff meeting. 180 tons of bulk trash was picked up just for Section 3.
And that's just the trash that got incinerated. That doesn't include the bulk metal or the yard waste.
So we're talking much more than 180 yards. Yes. So of all the bulk
tons.
excuse me, 180 tons. So of the bulk trash that was picked up, 180 tons went to the incinerator.
Correct.
And that's just in one section.
Yes.
It's just mine. And we have, one more time, 5 members of your team going every morning out to pick this stuff up?
We have our crew right now, our department at this point, we have 8 men that are collecting the bulk trash. We're split, of course, so we have 5 per day, 1 crew per day with 5 men.
It's incredible. So 5 guys moving more than 180 tons of garbage.
Oh, much more, yes.
It's incredible.
And it's source separated, so it makes it even more of a challenge.
Right.
Gone are the days that you can throw everything in one truck.
Right.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, you and I did a demo on Earth Day about recycling, and I don't want to jump in front of you because I know you have other things you want to announce, but we do have your recycling bin here. Are we going to get to a quick demonstration for folks at the end?
Just go over some basics.
No problem. Great.
Do whatever will help.
Awesome.
And insight. But I'd like to thank you for updating the public about the changes and concerns that have affected us immediately about our solid waste disposal services that we provide to the residents of Yorktown. It's strictly residents. It's not for commercial. However, with so many schedule changes, I really appreciate this opportunity to be here tonight to expand on our revised schedules and requirements, and hopefully shed a little light on the method to our madness of why we ask for what we ask. Basically, during this challenging time, even with our reduced workforce of only the 1 crew a day, the Refuse and Recycling Department is trying to continue the service of bulk trash collection for our residents. It's very important to note that all of the original collection scheduled dates for the bulk trash collection are out the window.
Right.
They're done. We mail out the flyer each year in February that gives everybody an overview of our department, and rules and regulations haven't changed, but those schedules have. So I'd like to just note some of the revised
Please.
schedules for the upcoming schedule now. Starting this Monday, May 11th, we will start in section number 4. Again, this is all rescheduled. This is nothing to do. And section 5 will begin 2 weeks later, May 26th. Then section 6, we've rescheduled that to start on Monday, June 8th. Section 7, we've rescheduled to begin on Monday, June 22nd. In regard to sections 1, 2, and 3, we're still working to determine those dates.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. But at least this brings us through the end of June. Very important that for homeowners, only those residents living in Section 4, they are the only ones that should be putting bulk trash out to
Right.
their curbside this weekend.
Right.
All the other ones, we're not going to be there,
Right.
for weeks. So
weeks on end.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's really important that they bring it back on their property. Certainly don't add anything more, and follow this new schedule. We will have everything always posted on the town's website, and you can also the Cablevision channel, the Yorktown channel, and of course you can give us a call at our office. We'll be happy to update you with all the changes.
Correct.
One important change is in regard to the collection of leaf bags and the bundled and tied branches. Originally, the second pickup was scheduled for the week of May 26th. This, unfortunately, we've had to cancel. We have to make up time, and this is the second collection, and it's going to be canceled. Nevertheless, the organic yard waste facility is open for Yorktown residents.
So what should residents do? They're open the back of their cars
Yorktown
and drive it
residents
up.
can drop off grass clippings and leaves and shrubbery and branches and logs in their own non-commercial vehicles,
Yep.
7:30 until 2:45, Monday through Saturday. A few people have asked me, they have little trailers, and I've said, sure. You can load up that little trailer as long as you are connecting it to a non-commercial vehicle.
Right.
So that's really important, that we're not going to be able to pick up the leaf bags and branches the end of May. However, the yard waste facility is open. And when you're there, I'd like to encourage our residents to bring some old buckets and wear gloves, and bring a shovel or two and help themselves to a variety of mulch, compost, wood chips that we have up there for your gardens. We've got this soil mixture up there with the leaf mold, and that is great for filling in low depressions on your property. It's ideal. So, hey, it's free, and this is one of the few places that is open for Yorktown residents to go. Of course, you have to practice social distancing, but it is available for you, and you can drop those items off, and you can pick up some yard waste, and it doesn't cost you anything extra.
I know that my wife's been, we've got 2 bags of stuff that we were going to put out, but she's been trying to get me to go up and dump it off and pick up some soil.
There you go.
I have a feeling that's going to be my Saturday.
Yeah, well, Saturday's a pretty busy day, but
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You're averaging now close to 200 people a day on those Saturdays,
Yeah,
right?
on the nice days, that's what we are definitely. You definitely also have to be sure to bring your driver's license.
Correct.
So that we can be assured that you are a Yorktown resident.
And as a reminder, again, for all my fellow parents out there, it's not a playground, so this isn't a place that your kids should be climbing and scaling the big mounds. We cannot allow that to happen.
Not
So
a
if you're
good
going to bring your
idea.
kids, which we have no problem having you do, but just make sure that they're staying on the ground or in the car in a safe place and not climbing or scaling any of the mounds that we have there.
Right. Matt, one of the reasons why, in addition to the reduced workforce, but one of the major reasons why we've had to reschedule everything, it's taking us twice as long to get everything, is because so many of us are staying at home per Governor Cuomo's directive. And as a result, our families are not going off to work, and they're not going to schools, and they're not going to restaurants. So there is so much more trash that's being generated. Same number of crew guys picking up, same everything, number of trucks. It's just taking longer.
Yeah.
As you mentioned before, so much more trash is out there.
Volume.
Just volumes and volumes. Just to give you an idea, now we have one more section, section 4, that we will start on Monday. After that, we will be done with our first round of collections. Usually we are done by the end of April. Getting through the first round, we start in early March, and we continue to the end of April, brings us through the first 7 sections, along with all the condominium and apartment complexes, along with usually Battle of Yorktown, the debris from that. So it's a very busy time for us, but we're usually done with the first round by then. Last year, our first round, it was a total of 568 tons of trash. That's what we picked up for all 7 sections and the condos.
Wow.
And that now, just for March and April, and the condos that we finished this week. But if I want to do a guesstimate to include Section 4, this first round this year will be 800 tons.
Wow.
So that's 40% increase of the bulk trash. And I know people get very frustrated that we are not there real quick to pick things up, but come on, there's just so much more out there, and we certainly have limitation of what we do take. It's supposed to be 3 cubic yards per collection, but you know what? When our guys see that there's some extra bags and there's some extra things out there, they're going to help out, and they do help out.
They do a great job.
They really do
an absolutely fantastic job.
Yeah, especially when it's pouring rain and windy and it's wild weather. I'm always extra appreciative of our crews that are out there. With not only bulk trash, but in addition to your weekly recycling, proper source separation is the name of the game.
Yep.
We were mentioning before with bulk trash that 180 tons from Section 3 was the incinerated trash. But we're also required by law to source separate the bulk trash. It's not just what goes in your recycling bin. So, for example, we are not allowed to take your bulk metal, things like white goods, which is your washing machine, your dryer, your appliances. People have metal ladders, wood, the step ladders they might have, metal filing cabinets. There's a great deal of metal items out there. So those things need to be placed separately because they go into a smaller vehicle, get put up on our hill, and then we get those down to the metal recycler. We are not allowed to throw those into the trash with the incinerator. Same with e-waste. E-waste, your electronics such as your computers, your towers, your monitors, your keyboards, and television sets. By law, our guys cannot put these in the trash truck.
Right.
We must pick them up separately. So it really helps if people keep bulk metal items as well as your e-waste items separate from the items that are going to go to the incinerator. It's frustrating when our guys get to a pile and there's a TV set on top of it.
Right.
Or there's a TV set under it and they didn't even know that the TV set was there because it was covered with this other trash. So it helps us.
And the e-waste, I've been getting questions on this. E-waste is a county program?
Well, the county provides a certified recycler and a pod for us to place the e-waste in. We've started here in Yorktown our own e-waste disposal days, drop-off days.
Right.
Since so many residents are uncomfortable with the idea with identity theft of placing towers, computer towers and such out at curbside. Perfectly understandable.
Totally get it.
So that's why a number of years ago we started these e-waste drop-off days right at our...
We had one in the beginning of this...
Beginning
right
of...
before
Right,
COVID.
right. Exactly, right. We usually have 6 or 7 a year. We had one, and then COVID hit, so we've had to cancel the one from April. I don't have the change yet.
Right.
As soon as I get the green light, we'll be able to post when we'll be able to have these drop-off days.
Agreed.
So anyway, e-waste, bulk metal, also yard waste. Yard waste needs to be brought up to the yard waste facility. We can throw a couple of branches in the truck. That's fine, but we don't want to bring a lot of leaf bags and loads of branches and incorporate them in with the trash that's going to the incinerator. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of resources when we have this great yard waste facility where we can recycle them directly up there for our residents. So let's see, e-waste and bulk trash, and we're also separating textiles.
Yep.
Now, there's been a number of discussions about some of these textile bins throughout town. I'd just like to remind our residents that we still have our textile recovery program, where we started this a number of years ago. On town-owned property, we have our vendor is Use Again. They have the green and white clothing bins, textile bins. You can find 3 of them right in the commuter parking lot, right here at Town Hall,
Right at
next
Town
to Town
Hall.
Hall.
Yep.
We've got one over by the track, which I know is closed, behind by the playground at the ACC Community Center. There's one over by Sparkle Lake. There's 2 at the John C. Hart Library. There's one over in the parking lot to the Shrub Oak Pool. In these bins, we're looking to have you place in there textiles that you are not giving away to somebody else, all right? These are ones that are torn or worn out or stained. We don't want anything wet, but old clothing and shoes, boots. We're taking curtains and bedspreads and
That's good
blankets.
to know, 'cause I've got like 4 sets of old running shoes that I just,
There you go. There you go. We don't take pillows. We don't take stuffed animals, but all other textiles we do.
do take.
And this is going to our vendor, Use Again. And number 1, we're keeping the quantity out of the waste stream,
Yep.
which is the incinerator, which costs us money to incinerate. And it's also better for the environment that we're keeping less out of the waste stream, because this vendor does have a market to sell them. And then the other benefit is that the town of Yorktown gets a little check every year for what we are recovering. Last year, our residents disposed about 74,000 pounds
Wow.
of textiles in our bins. So the town received a check for $7,400 and some odd cents. So
Great.
that's a very good program that
Absolutely.
we've had.
That's good for
Yeah,
residents to know.
It's good to know. And when we do resume our e-waste drop-off days, we also encourage our residents to bring bags of textiles at the same time.
Yep.
So
Looked at
that's
both of those when we were behind the police station, right by your
our office is right behind.
by your office.
Yes, back there. Okay, so that's really bulk trash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great information and great tips.
Good. And now let's talk about
Recycling.
Recycling.
Let's talk about recycling.
Yeah, let's talk about recycling. Everybody has been recycling here in the town of Yorktown for a very long time, very, very long time. Everybody is used to it. However, there have been changes, and more importantly, since we have since COVID-19, with so much more out there to be collected, in the past, our contractor has been able, maybe he would see a couple of ineligible items in the bin, and he would take it out, and he just put it in this side of the truck. They're not doing that anymore. There's just so much
There's
out
too much
there.
volume.
It's too much volume. Here in Yorktown, we do have the dual stream recycling program, which basically means that we want to keep your commingled food and beverage containers in one recycling bin, and then in either a separate recycling bin or in brown paper bags. That's where you can put all of your newspaper and magazines and junk mail and circular and flyers and those empty unflattened cardboard boxes. Very, very important to keep those commingled, completely separate from the pulp. That's your dual stream. If anybody watches the recycling truck come down, it looks like a very large packer, which it is, but it's actually split in the back, so that there is an opening not too much larger than this, just to accommodate the empty the recycling bin, and then split on the other side is the paper. One question I get so often is that people will say, well, I just have a very large box. And why aren't they taking it? They're not taking it because, number one, first and foremost, all of your cardboard boxes must be completely emptied of all packing material and flattened. But when you have a very large box, you must then fold it down a few more times. So it's basically about the size of a recycling bin. So that too can then be placed into the designated opening on the back of the recycling truck. So, someone said, well, I have an 80-inch screen TV that I just received. That's lovely, but we can't just
you're not gonna
shove that
squeeze
box,
that in.
shove
Yeah,
that box
right, you gotta
in.
break it down.
Yeah. So just a quick review.
Yeah, please. Just a quick review for everybody at home.
Real quick.
Yep.
What we're looking for you to recover at home are the containers that you purchased at the food store that held food or beverages or soapy cleaners. And those containers, we have to make sure that they have been made out of either plastic or glass or tin cans or your wax cardboard containers. That's it. We're not looking for things like items that are made out of plastic or glass or tin cans, just containers that held food or beverages or soapy cleaners. So for example, with the plastics, if a plastic container that you purchased at the food store held food, it's got the recycling symbol on the bottom, beverages, plastic, recycling symbol, bought it at the store, or soapy cleaners. All right, those are the three categories, as long as they are then made out of either glass or plastic or the tin. Rinse them out, put them in the bin. It's called commingled recycling because the glass and the plastic and the tin is all mixing together. And then as far as your paper goes, again, a separate container or emptied and flattened and placed in brown paper shopping bags from the supermarket or shopping bags from when we used to have department stores. Paper can go in paper. However, never plastic.
No plastic.
No plastic. This gets caught in the conveyor belts at the recovery facility in Yonkers, where all this material ends up. It blocks up their equipment down there. Also, even though it might have a recycling symbol on it, it is not part of Yorktown's program, and Yorktown's program is based on Westchester County's program. We have to follow Westchester County.
Right.
So no plastic bags.
No plastic bags.
In addition, some people say, well, I go to the supermarket and I buy these blue clear bags that are recycling. That's lovely that maybe they can use them in another community, but here in Yorktown, here in Westchester County, can't use them. Use these for your kitchen trash if you got a box of them left over at your house. Do not use them to hold your recyclables, please. And the other point I would like to emphasize tonight is there are a few things that people feel that we should be recycling and we really can't. All of the items that we're asking you to recover each week are based on markets that the county has secured. We're actually not recycling here in Yorktown, we're recovering. All righty? So we're recovering these items and they are being source separated down at the county's facility and they are being sold to vendors who are then going to make new things out of old things. That's the recycling end. But we have no market and therefore these items go in the trash. First and foremost, styrofoam. No market here in Westchester County. Anything made out of styrofoam, the styrofoam goes in the trash. If it's a little bit, like maybe this egg crate made out of styrofoam, in the kitchen refuse. If it's a large styrofoam that you used to pack that 80-inch flat screen TV, then maybe you can put that in a bag and put that out with your bulk trash. But a little bit of styrofoam goes right in the kitchen refuse. Also, everybody's getting all of these deliveries from Amazon and everything else with all this great bubble wrap and any other packing material that may come to protect the product in the box that's being delivered to you. It's not go in our recycling. It's not marketed, so therefore we can't accept it.
So it goes in the trash?
So it goes in the trash. If it's a little bit, kitchen trash. If it's a whole load because you got a delivery of new furniture, then those packages of this goes out in the bulk trash.
Got it.
And then just to emphasize, cardboard boxes, whether it's a large box from Amazon or it's just a little cereal box, all boxes have to be emptied completely of all their contents and flattened. And then you can put them in, again, a separate recycling bin with your newspaper, magazines, junk mail, and empty cardboard boxes, but never mixed. We don't want them mixed in with this. Oh, there you go, dominoes. All right, this has to be separate, completely separate. All right, How about that?
That's great. That's
All right.
perfect. Because again, we did this on Earth Day. We provided some great recycling tips on Earth Day, and we had a great response from folks. The other thing I just wanted to mention was the like the orange juice.
Yeah, the wax cardboard.
Wax cardboard.
Yes, that's fine. That I should have brought. I should have brought that. That would go with it's commingled with your glass, plastic,
so
and
the
tin.
wax cardboard. So if you have like that
Yes.
milk carton or orange juice carton.
Yeah, the juice boxes.
Yep, juice boxes.
Yeah,
Yep,
with
for all-
everybody. all
Again,
the
my
kids that are
fellow
home.
parents. I got juice boxes all over my car right now,
Absolutely.
so they can all be recycled.
Empty them, yeah, and you want to put them in. Matt, I'd just like to mention for our residents and remind our residents how important the recycling is to our waste stream. Each year in the town of Yorktown, and this is pre-COVID days because I think we're going to get a whole lot more this year, but pre-COVID days, we averaged probably about 3,300 tons a year of these commingled materials. That's 3,300 tons that we did not have to bring to the incinerator and pay for. And of course, it is kept out of the waste stream, which helps the environment. Those 3,300 tons, that would be over $100,000 added to our bill for the incineration. So we're not only helping the environment, but we're helping our pockets.
bottom line. Yep.
And the last thing I'd like to mention, if I may,
Of course.
is that a lot of people have heard rumors and read stories about how there's no more market for recycling and it should all go in the trash. Not here in Westchester County. If Westchester County is asking for this particular item to be recovered from your household trash, they are only asking that because they have secured markets. Okay?
That sounds great.
Okay, good.
I really can't thank you, and I'm seeing comments come across. People are very appreciative of these great tips and reminders, and we're going to have this on our town website under the COVID-19 updates, so you can tell your friends, you can come back to this if you have questions, or you can always call the R&R
Absolutely.
office and the
Kristen
number over
and
there.
I, 245-4438. And also, I think Kristen does a great job with our website. There's a page for each of our solid waste collection services, disposal services that we provide. You'll find more information than anybody can.
It's great. It's great. And especially at a time like these, I mean, one of the things that we're seeing, one of the positives that we're seeing from the COVID-19 pandemic, because everyone's staying home, is we're seeing our planet really begin to heal.
Yes.
Which is just incredible.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody posted a picture. I don't think this has to do with that, but someone posted a picture of a bald eagle at Sparkle Lake yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is, just incredible.
I know they're over on the Hudson River, but I didn't know they were here in Yorktown.
Yeah, but there was a bald eagle in Sparkle Lake. So you're seeing our environment and our planet really begin to heal. There are reports in the news of the largest hole in the ozone actually closing because, again, we're not out and about and polluting and reducing our carbon footprint considerably. So it's a great time to really remind yourself and reinvest yourself in protecting our planet, protecting our environment. The town's going to be doing some very exciting things with our Climate Smart Communities Task Force. And, of course, we already have one of the best, if not the best, recycling program that a municipality can offer in Westchester County right here. So, again, Kim, thank you and your staff for all you're doing.
You're very welcome.
And to our folks at home, we appreciate your patience and understanding with the bulk pickup. I get questions about it every week. And again, we're going to continue to update our website, the R&R website. So look on it onto our Facebook page. Look for that information on our website. Visit the R&R website. We'll do a blast email on that, which again you can sign up for right on the town's website, so you can get our blast emails. All these things to get you as much information as we can, which is something that this town really believes in, because information's power, and so you can make the right decisions for you and your family. It's another reason why we continue to do these updates. We continue to do our question and answer sessions on Sundays, which I know it's Mother's Day, and I'm going to get there in a second, but we will be back on Sunday with Councilman Lachterman and Sergio Esposito on Sunday to answer more of your questions while we continue to get through this COVID-19 pandemic. But again, Kim, thank you so much for another fantastic demonstration of our recycling program. And to our entire staff, just thank you from the bottom of my heart, but all of the elected officials in Yorktown. People have been very complimentary about our response to this pandemic, but it's a team effort. It's not one person. And so a lot of credit goes, and most of the credit goes to our staff, who continue to do just great things throughout the community. And with that being said, again, I just want to remind everybody, that we will be back on Sunday. We continue to provide updated information as we get it that is valid. Continue to check the COVID-19 impact dashboard with the latest statistics. We continue to post that as we get them. And as always, social responsibility this weekend, even on a nice day like today. Continue to make those decisions because we're in this together. If we want to reopen our economy, if we want to see things begin to resort back to the way they were, even though there are going to be some differences there. But if we want to see our stores open, and our restaurants open, and our barber shops open, and our nail salons open, we have to continue to adhere to the parameters that are put forth. So please, this weekend, enjoy it, but be smart, be safe, be healthy, stay focused on the New York on pause order, and again, we'll be back on Sunday with our Q&A starting at 6 p.m. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.